Hello dear students. So today again we are going to cover few list of headings. I hope you already have gone through yesterday's video where I tried to cover list of headings. So today we are going to cover a topic which is known as spoken corpus comes to life. For example, you are unaware what spoken corpus is, but still you will be able to do your headings, because in headings it doesn't matter whether you are able to understand the understand each and every word of the paragraph or not. So it's not mandatory for you guys to understand each and every word of the paragraph to find the heading, and nor you would need to know the no meaning to each and every sentence of the paragraph. So yesterday I taught you that you only need two things to solve your list of headings. First is the technique of forming sub summaries, and then elimination. That's it. So we have to cover 6 questions, and we have 11 list of headings. 11th is already done, so we are left with 10. So we have 10 options and we have to do 6 questions. So without wasting any time, let's read paragraph A, and then we'll understand the meaning, we'll make sub summaries, and then we will eliminate. All right. The compiling of dictionaries has been historically the provenance of studious professorial types. Usually, suppose you don't know the meaning of this word, not even this word, then that's absolutely okay. Usually dash who love to pore over weighty tomes and make pronouncements on the finer nuances of meaning. Okay, so here what they are talking about, they are talking something about history, and they are talking something about studious professors who love to do something. Definitely they would be loving something related to knowledge. So that was something, their love was something related to this, or maybe finding the meanings. So the sub summary for this one is that they are talking about the professors who had love for the language, who just wanted to find the meaning of various words, and they are talking about history. So they are talking about those professors. They were probably, they means then again they are talking about professors. So the sub summary second, they were probably good at crosswords and definitely knew a lot of words, but the image was always rather dry and dusty. Again here they are saying that these professors were good at crosswords and they definitely knew a lot of words. So they are talking about the past, and they are talking about those people who might have invented the dictionary or something, and these are the traits of those people, but the image was always rather dusty and dry. Okay, the latest technology is revolutionizing the content of dictionaries and the way they are put together. That means they're talking something about past, and in the last line they said that the latest technology is making some changes in the way the dictionaries are written or something like that. All right, so before going to the options, you should have a clear picture of this thing in mind, that what this paragraph is talking about. They're talking about professors, their characteristics, and then dictionaries and all that stuff in the history. So now let's eliminate. Grammar isn't, are they talking, they're not talking about grammar. New methods, they're not talking about new method. Technology learns from dictionary. So is technology learning anything from dictionary? No. So some students will answer 3 because they will match the keywords. So you are never able to do a list of headings if you match, because the answer could be this one, because technology is a word there, even dictionary is a word there. But why this can't be the answer? Because what's the meaning? It says that technology learns from dictionaries. Dictionaries are teachers and technology is learning from dictionaries. So it's not like learning anything. So they're talking about professors, and then they are talking about their traits, and everything related to history. Non-verbal content. Verbal, the one we speak, and non-verbal is other than speaking. No, they're not talking about non-verbal like emotions or something. Non-verbal means emotions, or maybe anything which is beyond speaking. The first study of spoken language. No, they're not talking anything about first study. They are talking about tradition. Traditional means historical. Lexicographical methods. Lexicographical means lexicographs are those people who write dictionaries. So yes, they were talking about dictionaries, and how they were writing dictionaries. They were writing dictionaries probably with a method which is now revolutionizing, because in the last line they were talking about the method that previously they might be using some method, but now the technology is revolutionizing the content of the dictionary and the method with which they were written. So maybe they were following some method here, but now technology is revolutionizing this method. They are using this sentence, revolutionizing. Revolutionizing itself says that something was happening in the past and now it is getting changed. So what is getting changed? Method. They were talking about tradition. Traditional means historical. Lexicographical means the people, the professors who used to write dictionaries, and methods they are also talking. So answer is 6th. Still, if you want to eliminate, written English tells the truth. They are not talking anything about truth. New phrases enter dictionary. They are not talking about new phrases. Cooperative research project. They are not talking that there are a lot of people, 10, 12, 15 people involved in a research. No. Accurate word frequency count means 10 words, 15, 20 words. They are not talking about counts. So the answer is 6th. Alright, let's move towards paragraph B now. Okay. For the first time, so we'll form sub-summaries. For the first time, dictionary publishers are incorporating real spoken English into their data. For the first time, now means they are talking differences between that history thing and now the present thing. So they're talking. So for the first time, they are doing something. So for the first time, what they are doing, dictionary publishers are incorporating means adding real spoken English into their data. It gives lexicographers are the people, those who write dictionaries. So because they are adding the spoken English, real spoken English into their dictionary, so that's why they are given access to a more vibrant, up-to-date vernacular language which has never really been studied before. Here they were talking about past, but here they are talking about the shift. That is, what is getting changed from past to present. This shift. For example, in 1970, what used to be written, and in 2025, what is the difference? So from past to present, they are talking about this thing in these 4 lines. Because they are saying for the first time, they are adding spoken English, and because they are adding spoken English for the first time, then it gives lexicographers access to more vibrant. That means the people, those who write dictionaries, are able to write more vibrant, up-to-date language in their history, in their dictionary, which has never really been studied before. So this is going to be for the very first time. So they're talking about something which is happening for the first time and comparing and the comparison between past and present. Okay, so the sub-summary. Now the sub-summary for these ones. In one project, 150 volunteers each agreed to discreetly tie a Walkman recorder to their waist and leave it running for anything up to 2 weeks. Every conversation they had was recorded. When the data was collected, the length of the tapes was 35 times the depth of the Atlantic Ocean. Teams of audio typists transcribed the tapes to produce a computerized database of 10 million words. Okay, so this is just an experiment. That is, they were tying the recorders to their waist, and they used to and they talked for two weeks or so, every conversation was recorded, and then that recording was there on the tape, and the tape was so long that it was 35 times the depth of the Atlantic Ocean, and there were 10 million words. Okay, so this is just an example, and this is something which is happening for the first time, and because there is a comparison between past and present. So before going there, getting to know about the options, you should have a clear thing in your mind that yes, these are talking about this and this. Okay, so these, okay, now let's eliminate. Grammar is corrected, so they're not talking about grammar. New methods of research, yes, a very clear answer. New method means it has not been used ever since, so we are using this method. This method means that tape recorder method of research for the very first time. For the very first time means new method. So that method was was used for the very first time. That means it was a new method, and that method was for research, and that method was tying a walkie around the wrist and then getting to know the different words and writing those words in a dictionary. So it's clearly written that new method of research. Other ones, you'll see that all are getting eliminated. So the answer is 2. See, new method. So they're talking about method. This is the method, and now the word new. This is new because it is used for the very first time. So new method of research. Research means researching new words which they will be using in a dictionary. So they are researching new words from the daily conversation because they had to add spoken English. So spoken English means the word we speak while conversating. So while they were conversating, they were recording each and every method which they will be making a dictionary of. That means everyday conversation was recorded because they had to add spoken English into their dictionary. So this was a new method of research. Research means researching new words which they will be putting in a dictionary. So second. Alright, without wasting any time, let's read third. Okay. This has been the basis, along with an existing written corpus, for the language activator dictionary, described by lexicographer Professor This as the book the world has been waiting for. It shows advanced foreign learners of English how the language is really used. In the dictionary, keywords such as eat are followed by related phrases such as wolf down or be a picky eater, allowing the students to choose the appropriate phrases. So they're talking something about phrases. Grammar, they're not talking about grammar. Technology learns from dictionary, no, there is nothing being talked about. Emotions, that means non-verbal, no. The first study, no. Written English tells the truth, they're not talking anything about truth. New phrases enter dictionary. Cooperative research, they're not talking anything about cooperation between 10-12 people. Accurate word frequency count. So we are left with these two, but I'm not pretty sure will the answer be 8th or 10th. So what you will do in the exam, you will just write 2 answers here. Third can be 8th or 10th, because when I read this thing, I was not able to get an idea of that. That's why I was not able to form the sub summary. So in exam, you would be having very less time. So what you can do is you just rely on the elimination method after understanding real quick. So I was able to eliminate all these ones, but not these two. So I have written not for this one, basically is for this one. Okay, so let's move towards 4th, 5th and 6th. For example, if the 5th gets this 10th, then the answer will be 8th. So we're left with 4, 5, 6. All right, let's do 4th. This kind of research would be impossible without computers. Okay, so they are talking something about computers. And it has transformed the way lexicographers work. So they are talking about computer. If you look at the word like, you may intuitively think that the first and most frequent meaning is verb. As in, I like swimming. It is not. It is the preposition. As in, she walked like a duck. Just because a word or a phrase is used doesn't mean it ends up in the dictionary. The sifting out process is as vital as ever, but the database does allow lexicographers to search for a word and find out how frequently it is used, something that could only be guessed at. Okay, so here they are talking about frequency, and there they were talking about computer, and here they have given the example. That means maybe computer is recording the frequency, and here they have given that example. Okay, so before moving to the list of headings, you should be having a clear idea that this is talking about computer, and then they gave the example, and then they gave that their frequency, like a word, for example, is there for 5 times, how frequently it is used. So it is being collected in a database. Maybe computer helps to know that how many words are there and how frequently a word is used. So they are talking about frequency. Let's eliminate grammar. Maybe grammar, because they are talking about verb, preposition or something. So we'll write grammar. It is corrected, but they're not talking that grammar is corrected. If the answer was just grammar, then yes, it would have been correct. New method of research is done. Technology learns from dictionary. Technology is learning from dictionary. No, they're saying that technology is counting the frequency. Non-verbal means emotional thing. They're not talking the first study. No. Written English tells the truth. They're not talking anything about truth. New phrases enter dictionary. They're not talking about phrases. Phrases means a collection of few words, 3-4 words, but they are just talking about the word like. So that's just grammar, verb or preposition. So not phrases. They are not talking about phrases. But I think 3-4 words were written together in maybe the answer to C is the one with the word phrases, because in the C, which we were confused about, here they're talking about phrases. They're saying that keywords eat are followed by related phrases. I mean, there will be a word eat, then there will be 3-4 words, means that's a phrase, such as wolf down or be a picky eater. Yes, be a picky eater is a phrase. Allowing the students to choose appropriate phrases. Okay, so maybe the answer to C is the one which is 8 phrases. Okay, so we have confusion, but I think the answer would be this, because the 10th is accurate word frequency count, but the frequency they are talking in paragraph E, right? No, paragraph D. Oh, no. We are making a mistake. So this mistake you also can make, because I did read C and then I tried to form the heading, but then I see that C is already done. So you might commit this mistake in exam. So C is already done. So we will just be looking at D. D means D. Okay. So here they are talking about okay. Yes. So that was a mistake. So here they are talking about we were having confusion. Okay, so D1. Yes. So here they are talking that initially they were talking about words like grammar, Grammar is preposition or verb is a grammar, but I like swimming is not. It is the preposition, as in she walked like a duck. Just because a word or phrase is used doesn't mean it ends up in the dictionary. Okay, so this paragraph is also talking about phrases, grammar, and then computer. All right, let's eliminate and find the answer to D. Grammar is, so yes, the answer could have been grammar, but corrected is not given. New method, technology learns from dictionary, no. Non-verbal, no. The first study, no. Written English tells truth, no. New phrases enter dictionary. New phrases, they are talking about some phrases, but they're talking about phrases, grammar and computer in this paragraph, but they're not talking anything about new phrases. They're talking about grammar, phrases and computer, but not new phrases. Cooperative, no. Accurate word frequency counts. So this is the last one, because they're talking about frequency and find out how frequently it is used. So initially they are using phrases and they are saying that you have to count the frequency, that how many times this like word is getting repeated, and then this may be recorded by a computer. Okay, accurate word frequency count. So yes, the answer is this, because this is the only one left. So be very careful. So this kind of mistake generally happens with many students. Okay, let's read paragraph E. So what E is talking about? Real quick. Researchers have found that written English works in a very different way to spoken English. The phrase, again they're talking about phrases. Say what you like literally means feel free to say anything you want. And okay, but in reality it is used evidence shown by someone to prevent the other person voicing disagreement. The phrase, it is a question of crops. So okay, so the E is talking about phrases only. For example, you just have very less time left in your exam. For example, you're not able to form sub summaries. Then if I would have to see, like if I have to form a basic crux of this one, then I will get to see that they are talking just about phrases. So they are saying that the phrases, they have given few phrases like say what you like, feel free to say anything you want. So phrases is basically a collection of few words. So in these two lines they're talking about phrases, and then they are also talking about phrases again. It's a sequence of cops, and it has nothing to do with inquiry, but it's one of the most frequent English phrases. So the entire thing is talking about phrases. So even if I am not able to find the crux appropriately, or maybe I'm not able to form the sub summaries, but still I know that this is talking about phrases. So I will have maybe 2-3 options which will have the word phrases, and then I will try to eliminate that on the basis of this crux. So let's find those ones which have the word phrases, because this is just talking about phrases. New phrases enter dictionary. That's it. So we are lucky that there is only one related to the word phrases. So the answer to E is 8th. All right. F. Spoken corpus computer shows how inventive and humorous people are when they are using language by twisting familiar phrases for effect. Again, they're talking about phrases, so maybe the answer to F is the one which we marked for E. That's it, maybe, but we will be quite cautious while understanding. So in this one they were talking all about phrases, but in this one they're also talking about emotions. You see, emotions, doubt, irony, play, humor. So these are all emotions. So they are saying that they show their emotions while they are using some kind of phrases. So in this one they are talking about emotions. and phrases. Phrases is a collection of words. But in this one, they were just talking about phrases. So let's see. F. So here they were talking about humor and all those emotions thing. Okay. So we had one thing related to emotions. So I have been telling you that non-verbal means which is beyond verbal. I mean, anything which is apart from verbal. Verbal means speaking. So if we have to convey a meaning, either we can speak, that's verbal, and if we are unable to speak, then what we will do, we will show our emotions, we will show our gestures, and that means if we are not able to speak but rather showing emotions and gestures, that means it's non-verbal. So it's very clearly non-verbal content because they are talking about humor and all that stuff. So F is non-verbal. So the last one, we'll be left with very less options. So real quick. So we will not, we won't be involved in this one like quite thoroughly, but as we will be having very less time left in the exam, so we'll just be real quick, understanding the meaning, finding some, finding some keywords if we are able to do that. But in back of mind, there should be a crux of this thing. So you won't be getting the answer correct if you are solely relying on keyword matching in list of headings. Yes, list of headings will help, but along with keywords will help in list of headings, but along with that you should have a basic brief idea of the crux as well. For example, here they were talking about phrases and here they were also talking about phrases. So you'll just match the words, that phrases, instead of writing 8 to this one, you might have written 8 to this one. But as you had some idea in mind that here they are only talking about phrases, but here they are talking about phrases and emotions, that means the option with the phrases is for this and the option for emotions, that's non-verbal, is for this. All right, so G. For the moment, those benefiting most from spoken corpus are, so we don't know the meaning of spoken corpus, but see, we are still able to find answers to all our list of headings. So it's not mandatory to understand each and word and understand the meaning of each and every sentence. You just need to have that basic idea of the paragraph and elimination method. For the moment, those benefiting from the spoken corpus are foreign learners. Computers allow lexicographers to search quickly through more examples of real English. Okay, so they are talking about searching words. In this one, they allow dictionaries to be more accurate and give a feel of how language is being used. So they are just talking about dictionaries. The spoken corpus is a part of the larger British national corpus. Okay, so they were talking about corpus and now they are linking this corpus with this thing. And this thing is part of larger British national corpus, an initiative carried out by several groups. So we had one option with that cooperative thing. Maybe the answer to this is this: involved in the production of larger material. Publishers are involved, university and British Library. Okay, so this is talking about cooperation. And here they are talking about spoken corpus. But this spoken corpus is getting linked to this thing, that this spoken corpus is a part of, spoken corpus is a part of. So here they are talking about spoken corpus and they are linking these 5 sentences with these 4 sentences, and these 4 sentences are talking about groups of publishers, university, British Library, so several groups. Okay, so they are talking about groups. Let's eliminate. Grammar is corrected, not talking about grammar. New method, they are not talking about new method. Technology learns from dictionary, no. Non-verbal content, we are pretty sure that it was answer to the previous one. The first study, they're not talking anything about a new study or first study. Traditional, no. They're not talking about truth. New phrases enter dictionary, no. New phrases, no. They are just talking about spoken corpus basic thing, and then that cooperation thing, cooperative research project. So the answer is cooperative research project. Even if we don't think that answer is 9, we'll just eliminate. So these are all eliminated. Accurate word frequency count. Are they talking anything about frequency count, that is for 10 or 15? No. Alternative expressions, so this was also the already the answer. So the only left is a ninth. Even if you are not able to justify this project thing, but still you see when you eliminate, you are only left with this thing. So the answer is 9, but still if we have to find research project, we will be able to find if we look at closely. There is a professor, so might be a professor is linked to a research project. So it is a larger British national corpus. So it is an initiative. Initiative means maybe a research project, and that research project is carried out by several groups. And that project involves a lot of publishers and universities in the production of language library material. So yes, so they were involved in a research project, so cooperative research project. So answer to G is 9th. Alright, so this was all about your list of headings again. So I did post one more video. So I will recommend you just understanding and going through all these videos of list of headings so that you can get a lot of benefit out of this. So I will try to post more videos of list of headings. So try to use these methods while solving your list of headings, and I believe you are able to get a lot of help out of it. So this was all for today. So see you tomorrow with a next video.